Okay, HOC, History of China, and World History 9. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of Moodle now that I've got it running. I've got it set right now on student view, so this should be about how you see it. Ignore this over here. That's my sidebar. It's a little thing I have for Twitter and Facebook. All right, so I'm a person who does not like all of this noise taking up my real estate on the right sidebar. So again, practicing the art of noticing, what do these little things do? Click them and you'll find they do some really wonderful things. I just clicked that and you see it disappeared. I'm going to make them all disappear in a minute. Where do they go? They go over here. So navigation just went, so when you hover over them, settings, there it is, you can expand things. All right, play around with Moodle, it's really cool. Search, you can search forums there. You know, what did somebody say about such and such? Just search that name and you'll see everybody's forum about that. Latest news, that's announcements. So if you don't like all this stuff cluttering up your desktop, then you can just click that little move to this dock, move to the dock. Notice the other thing, and I hope that this will zoom in. You can also expand by just clicking on that little arrow to see things inside. These, by the way, I've told some classes, but these are 2 RSS feeds. I'll tell you what those are later, but basically they're the titles of the latest articles from these 2 websites. China Digital Times, that's a great source of news for today's China. And it's usually from the Western point of view. So sourcing this is Western sources. All of the big news about China to Western sources, and therefore Western audiences, English-speaking audiences, you'll find here. So interesting stuff. You know, look at this. Here's the Gorbachev, the leader of the Soviet Union when it fell, communism fell there, and he's suddenly talking about how China is going to have to decide on changing its political system, the Communist Party. Interesting stuff. And then beneath it, you've got stuff from the Chinese Communist Party's newspaper, and that is their, you can call it the propaganda organ, but that's basically where the Chinese Communist Party expresses its view in English on, a lot of times on attacks and just issues in today's communist China. So, you know, here they are saying that the US and Europe should take responsibility for global recovery, economic recovery. In other words, look, this is not communist China's fault. Capitalism and democracy have their own problems, and from our communist Chinese government point of view, dictatorship, so on and so forth, we've got our own take on world affairs. You want to be, you know, sort of sniff this out, because you will be doing a lot of work over this semester about the way that the West sees China and the way China sees the West, because it's a big issue for the future. It's interesting stuff. You know, religious freedom, Catholics in China, should they be free to be, you know, whatever they want to do, or should they adapt to local conditions? This is all really interesting stuff. U.S. arms sale to Taiwan. So you will learn a lot just by sort of keeping up with the current events here. All right, but now I don't want that here for right now, because maybe I want to do work, so I'm going to put it over in the dock. And where did it go? Right here. Okay. Recent activity. That is whenever students add stuff. Oh, Alexandra, I don't know what you wrote, but it's about first love. That sounds fun. Megan Cosgrove's home, right? So you see that you can read each other's work here on this sidebar. So that's recent updates, course updates, recent activity. Again, I'm going to minimize it, and I'm going to take it over to the dock. Upcoming events, I'm going to take that over to the dock. So now I've got this nice big wide space to just look at my website and do work. There were some people absent, so I'm going to explain this again. The first box is the welcome box, so this area. Notice that in this area, which will never leave, I will have semester-long important documents, the syllabus. That includes your, you know, how I grade, what your assessments will be, that sort of thing. We haven't gone over that in class, but there it is, a preview. The news forum, that's announcements. Every time I put something in that, you'll get an email about it. And finally here, in this rubrics and sample writings and reading like a historian charts, etc., it's a folder. So that's a folder with all the stuff that will be useful semester long. There will be other folders week by week. Here's this week. You notice down here it has a folder, right? So what is in the what is in this folder? Right here on the top, the semester-long ones. You've got reading like a historian charts. Now I told you that that chart that has all of the habits of mind on the 5th page, That's useful for reference when you are writing and planning presentations or seminars or whatever. Remember, that's got your basic moves, your dribbling, your layups, your sourcing, contextualizing, corroborating. All right, rubrics. So far, the 1-minute speeches that you'll be giving as of next week, we're going to start practicing speaking. That's the rubric for that, if you want to look at what you're going to be graded on. And Socratic Seminar rubric is there. And I'll also put writing models. What does a good paragraph look like in terms of evidence and argument and reading like a historian? Well, here is one AP student's sample paragraph. So for those of you who want to just, see what is acceptable, what's considered good writing, it's not great, it's not perfect, but it's a good model so far. We'll collect more of those from the forums as we go. All right, so that's the folder. Finally, the last thing to notice here is navigating in this site. These are called breadcrumbs: home, courses, HOC Semester 1, General, Rubrics. So that's how you got there. If you want to go just back up a level, well, okay, never mind. Well, you could just click to go back up to the course. Close that, and I'm going to show you the folder for the week 1 course. Now here's how I'm going to do the weekly pages or boxes. I'm going to put what we do in class, right, and the date. So you will be able to look at those and see the activities in class, and then see at the bottom of that the homework that is due. Okay? So, and if something's really important, okay, I just misspelled something. The red thing, I'm putting it in red. That means notice it. Absent students, you can just, there's the lesson right there. And all of the handouts are in the handouts folder below. So if you miss class, and I'm good this week, you should be able to just go to the handouts folder. Pretend I clicked on that. I've already got it open here. And here are the handouts that we did today. Wednesday. Ignore the East-West stereotypes. We'll do that next week. No, I'm sorry, next class. So there's the reading like a historian charts. All 5 pages. One class didn't get complete handouts. And there's the the lunchroom fight sources for those of you who, again, got a bad printout because I printed wrong. So that's that. And here is Friday. This is what we will do Friday. You want to look ahead? Notice that we're going to have a discussion, so maybe you want to come in ready to talk. And we're going to do some more document analysis, except now we're talking about China and the West. And then you're going to prepare a 2-minute speech, presentation, your first one, that you will do in class on Tuesday of next week. All right, so that's how that will look. Now also notice this. You will see this too. Unread posts. Whoops. Unread posts. I'm magnifying. I'm hoping that this screencasting thing will pick it up. It might not when it films the desktop. So that shows you that there are new posts that you haven't read. Okay, finally, the other icons. This face-to-face icon, that's a discussion forum. That's really important because that's where you will turn in much of your homework. So click on it. And you can see there is the person's name who started it, and over here under last post, that will be when you start replying to each other. You'll see the last person that answered you. Now right now nobody has answered. But anyway, so here's a tip. You'll get more attention for having a good title than you will for having a bad title. All right, so you're competing with other people. Jeffrey, you want to capitalize titles. You're competing with other people. Nice, Amy, a KFC crime. You get that K joke and stuff there, the KK, good stuff. So that's the way that works. You click on the title of the discussion if you want to read it. And by the way, to add a new one, you just click Add a New Discussion Topic. I'll right-click that. I can't. And there is the discussion. Notice you've got different ways that you can display the discussion if you want to. So there is that. And interesting. Okay. Not a good one to use as an example because nobody can reply to this one. We'll do more of this. You'll figure it out. You're smart. But if you want to add your own, you would click Add New Discussion Topic. And now we're in Microsoft Wordville, right? This looks just like Word, right? If you're copying and pasting from from Word, notice that says paste from Word when you hover over it, a clipboard with a W, a word icon above it. You click from that and it will say paste from Word into this. It strips out the bad word formatting. Apologies to those of you who have already heard this. And that's about it. You can upload files, including pictures, and the pictures will attach in here. You can also paste YouTube URLs, YouTube addresses, and Moodle will read it, and we can watch a video inside your post if you find a video that's worth sharing and talking about. So, all right, that's about it. Welcome to Moodle. As I say here, it really does make Blackboard feel like something you bought at an overpriced flea market. It's so much better. All right, bye-bye. Oh, we didn't even talk about the chat room, but whatever.